Hey everyone, my name is Bandit, and today I'm going to do a top 10 list on my favorite Little Cup Pokemon. Keep in mind that these are my opinions, and if yours are different, feel free to post them in the comments. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 10, Chinchou. Chinchou is an awesome pivot mon. It's got all kinds of type coverage with Scald, Volt Switch, Ice Beam, and Hidden Power Ground. You can run it as a Scarfer and outspeed a lot of sweepers. You can revenge kill stuff, or you can run it as a utility mon with Berry Juice and something like Heal Bell. It's a really versatile mon, and it works on a lot of teams. Volt Absorb is really nice because it can absorb incoming Volt Switches, Thunderbolts, and Thunder Waves. Number 9, Snubbull. Seems like kind of an odd choice, but this thing is an absolute beast. It's a physical pivot, and with Intimidate and its Fairy typing, you can switch it into almost any physical attacker, especially the fighting types that are really common in LC. Thunder Wave can be used to cripple opponents. Play Rough is a massively damaging stab, and Earthquake hits everything that Play Rough doesn't, namely Poison and Steel types. If you run it with Berry Juice, you can actually use Thief. So when your Berry Juice gets used up, you can steal your opponent's item and have that too. I know that Snubbull is kind of a hard sell here, so here's a video to show you just how much of a beast this thing is. Number 8 is Tortuga. Tortuga is one of the best, if not the best, Stealth Rock lead in the game. It's super tanky, especially with Eviolite and its ability Solid Rock. This thing can tank Abra's Energy Ball. It can tank Giga Drains from Ghastly. It's seriously a very tanky Pokemon, and it has awesome moves in Stealth Rock, Knockoff, Stone Edge, and Scald. All kinds of utility. You can get rid of your opponent's item, you can burn your opponent's, and you can even set up with Shell Smash if you want to sweep later. You have offensive moves such as Aqua Jet and Waterfall if you want to go that setup route. Number 7 is Porygon. Porygon is such a crazy wall in LC. Even though it's normal type, so it's not a very great defensive typing, it has such good tanky stats and so much utility. It can run Thunder Wave to cripple sweepers. It can run Tri-Attack for some huge damage, especially with if it gets a boost from download. And it also has stuff like Recover, and it has Bolt Beam coverage in Thunderbolt and Ice Beam. It's a really strong Pokemon, just kind of in every way. It can fit on almost any team, and it will not let you down. Number 6 is Timber. Timber is one of the bulkiest fighters in LC. If you use it with Eviolite and Bulk Up, you can get incredibly tanky very quickly. You have Sustain with Drain Punch and Priority with Mach Punch. You also have some utility with Knockoff, and it means you can hit Ghost types. What makes Timber so utterly fantastic is the fact that it can tank so much stuff, and it's also basically immune to status. It's got Guts, so Burn Drop is ignored and instead boosts its attack. Paralysis does slow you down, but you're slow anyway, so it doesn't hurt too much. Overall, a very, very well-rounded fighter, and it can fit on a lot of teams. Number 5 is Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon is probably the best sweeper in LC given proper team support. If you can use Memento with someone and then bring in Zigzagoon against a weakened opponent, you can set up one Belly Drum and then sweep just about anything with extreme speed. If you've taken out your opponent's Rock, Ghost, and Steel types, you will have no problem taking out the entire rest of the team. You can run also Thief to hit Ghosts if you need to, and you can run either Protect or Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb hits Rock types and Ground types. Well, you don't really need to hit Ground types, but it hits the Rock types that normally you don't do very well against. Whereas Protect blocks Fake Outs from stuff like Mindfu, which is really, really nice. I usually prefer Protect. Overall, fantastic sweeper. Definitely not something you can just throw on a team, but if you want to build a team around it, fantastic. It's going to go far. Number 4 is Pawniard, aka Baby Bisharp. Pawniard is very tanky. It does a ton of damage. It has trapping ability with Pursuit. It's got Sucker Punch for priority, Iron Head for stab that destroys fairies, and it can also run Brick Break. For fighting coverage, you don't really want to use Low Kick because Low Kick does damage based on how heavy your opponent is, and in LC, none of the Pokemon are heavy at all. So Brick Break is actually the best option for fighting coverage. You can run an Eviolite set for a little bit of a tankier build, or you can do a Choice Scarf, which is really surprising. It takes a lot of foes unaware, and it is extremely useful. You can do a lot of stuff with Baby Bisharp, and you can't really go wrong with it on a team. It can defeat a lot of common threats, and as long as you know how to play with it, you're golden. Number 3 is Abra. Abra is the best standalone sweeper in the game, I'd say. It doesn't really need a whole lot of team support, and it is immune to Stealth Rocks even with its Magic Guard ability. You can run Psychic or Psyshock, you can use Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, or even Substitute. Substitute is really nice because it blocks statuses, and it gets you around Sucker Punches, because you can use it and the Sucker Punch will fail, and then you can use an attacking move, and the Sucker Punch will break your sub. Overall, it's super fast, it does a ton of damage. It doesn't require a whole lot of thought to use on a team. You can just kind of throw it on if you need a sweeper, and it'll do a good job. You can use a Life Orb if you're feeling like you don't need the survivability of a Focus Sash, because you do actually avoid the Life Orb recoil damage since you have Magic Guard. Number 2 is Mindfu. Mindfu is so versatile, so tanky, and does so much damage. It wouldn't make sense not to include him on this list. He's got Fake Out, U-Turn, High Jump Kick, Knockoff, Drain Punch. So many options. He's even got Taunt. He can stop setup sweepers. He can be an anti-lead. You can use him as a Choice Scarf. You can use him as... you can even set up with him and sweep. There are just so many things you can do. U-Turn has awesome synergy with Regenerator. You can get momentum for your team as a pivot. You're bulky, you've got Eviolite boosts, just an extremely reliable, extremely versatile Pokemon that can fit on literally any LC team. Number 1 is, drumroll please, Fletchling! Fletchling is such an amazing Pokemon in LC. I know this is kind of a controversial pick for number 1 spot, but I think Fletchling honestly deserves it. having priority acrobatics stacked on top of having Roost and Swords Dance and U-Turn, and even Overheat, which can surprise stuff like Ferroseed or Pawniard. This thing is just amazing. It's the best counter to the Sun/Chlorophyll teams that used to be extremely popular. It can take out all kinds of sweepers like Abra and stuff. It can force the bulky fighting types to switch out. It can just do so much damage, and it's just so useful in almost every situation. You can throw this thing on any team in LC, and it will do its job fantastically. I have no complaints about this Pokemon, and I think it deserves the #1 spot without any question. Honorable mention goes to Dwebble. Dwebble is honorable mention because he is the funniest Pokemon to use low on the ladder. If you use Berry Juice plus Sturdy plus Shell Smash, he can actually decimate an entire team because he can Shell Smash turn 1, get knocked down to 1 HP, go back up to full with Berry Juice, and you have a Sturdy sweeper with full HP who can sweep with X Scissor, Earthquake, and Rock Blast. And that's a really, really funny thing to see. You can actually use him at higher tiers also as a setup, or as a hazard setup Pokemon, because he has Stealth Rock and Spikes, and he can actually be useful there too. The only thing is, once you get a little bit higher on the ladder, people see him coming and they know how to deal with him. They know how to burn him immediately, paralyze him immediately, and he doesn't become that much of a threat to the team. The second honorable mention, yes, there is a second honorable mention, and it goes to Diglett. The only reason that Diglett did not make top 10 is the fact that Smogon has put a gun to his head and is currently suspect testing him. If Smogon does what Smogon does and bans him, that's kind of the end of that. On the off chance that they don't ban him, here is why he is awesome. He is a fantastic trapper with Arena Trap, and he is an amazing revenge killer. He's super, super fast, and he's got Earthquake for stab, Rock Slide to hit flying types. He has Sucker Punch for priority if he needs it, and he also carries Memento, which means that he can sacrifice himself to let a setup sweeper set up and sweep. That's why the Zigdig core was super popular for a very long time, and I really enjoyed using that. I'm going to be really sad if they do end up banning Diglett. But yeah, overall, amazing revenge killer, very fast, super, super useful as a supportive Pokemon. Hopefully, Smogon will allow him to stay in the tier. Alright, that wraps up my top 10 list. Thank you so much for watching and listening and leaving a like and a comment and subscribing. Oh, I love you all so much. Feel free to post in the comments your favorite Little Cup Pokemon. Tell me why you think it's better than my top 10. My favorite Pokemon is Chimchar, and you should have included it. No, Chimchar sucks. Get out of here. I'm Yellow Bandit. Peace out.